For all the talk about audio over IP and this whole digital revolution, we still hit this brick wall. An audio engineer has this beautiful Dante network, and then a client walks in with just a standard legacy microphone.
It's the classic last mile problem, isn't it? The whole backbone is state of the art, but the world is still, stubbornly analog.
That is exactly the friction point we're digging into today. We're looking at the Kramer FC-102Net. Now, on paper, it's just a 2-channel Dante encoder.
Right.
But when you look at how it's built, it's really more of a specialized translator. It's designed to drag that old gear onto the new network.
And to do it almost invisibly. I mean, the goal here isn't just getting a signal. It's about decentralizing the entire input stage.
So let's look at the actual hardware. It's a tiny box, but the inputs tell a really specific story. You've got 2 balanced mono audio inputs on 3-pin terminal blocks.
Yeah, and that immediately screams install, not touring.
Exactly. You aren't just plugging a spare XLR cable directly into this thing.
No, this is meant for permanent integration. Under conference tables, inside lecterns. But the killer feature hidden in those terminals is the power. It supports both line level, like from a laptop, and mic level sources.
Which is common enough, I guess.
But, and this is the big but, it provides 48-volt phantom power per input.
Okay, see, that's the real differentiator. Usually with these tiny little encoders, if you want to run a nice condenser mic, you need a separate preamp.
Yep. This box just eliminates that whole component. You go straight from your high-end mic right into the network encoder.
That implies a huge reduction in clutter. And speaking of clutter, we have to talk about the physical size. Kramer calls it pico tools, which it sounds a bit like marketing fluff.
It does, but it's really not. I mean, the thing is smaller than a deck of playing cards. And crucially, it's an aluminum fanless enclosure.
Which matters because of where this thing lives. If you're mounting it behind a display or under a table, you can't have a little fan whirring away in the background.
It creates a noise floor issue.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the how of the install is even more interesting than just the size. It's a PoE acceptor.
Power over Ethernet. This is the part that actually solves the real-world headache. You run one single network cable to the unit. That cable carries your Dante audio stream back to the switch, and the switch sends power down that same line to run the box.
It pulls about 100 milliamps, so you completely remove the need for a local power outlet or one of those awful wall wart power supplies. It's a massive cost saver on install.
Okay, but I want to challenge the audio quality here. Usually when you shrink a device this much and run it off network power, you have to be sacrificing some headroom, right? Is this just a utility box, or does it actually sound good?
You would think so, but the specs suggest it's punching way above its weight. It's using a 32-bit advanced converter.
32-bit? That's studio grade.
It is, and it gives you massive dynamic range, but maybe more importantly, that kind of architecture improves its tolerance to clock jitter.
And for anyone listening who isn't an engineer, jitter is basically just its timing errors in the digital signal that cause distortion.
Precisely. So by managing that jitter and supporting sample rates up to 96 kilohertz, they're making sure the analog signal isn't just converted, it's preserved. It's transparent.
It's also surprisingly communicative for such a little box. I noticed it has an RS-232 port. That feels a bit archaic for a modern Dante device.
It's actually a really smart bridge for legacy control systems. It speaks Kramer Protocol 3000. So if you have an older room control system that, doesn't speak IP very well, you can still control this device's gain or phantom power with a serial connection.
It bridges the control gap, not just the audio gap.
Yep.
Now, we do have to mention the cost. It's listed around $516. That feels like a steep price per channel if you just need a simple adapter.
It is, but you're not paying for an adapter. You're paying for the 32-bit conversion, the built-in phantom power, the PoE. It's a piece of professional infrastructure, not a consumer dongle.
So the takeaway seems pretty clear. The FC-102Net basically kills the need for that big centralized equipment rack. You're pushing the studio right out to the edge of the network.
It essentially turns the network switch into your mixing console.
So here's a thought to chew on then. If we can now hide studio-grade inputs inside the furniture and power them with a single Ethernet cable, at what point does the room itself become the instrument? Are we moving toward a future where the architecture is the audio interface?
We might already be there.
Something to consider. Thanks for listening to this deep dive.